Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For years, they have taken up cudgels to bash Bharat and berate our forces. They whitewash the genocide and mock the pain of Hindus. Farooq Abdullah joined the list of many who believed in maligning India in order to appease a vote bank. From banking on China to restore Article 370 to an anti-Tiranga pitch to rallying behind stone pelters who wreaked havoc in Jammu and Kashmir, the former Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah has always toed the anti-India line. Today, the same man, Farooq Abdullah, who has also been vocal about how India should be in talks with Pakistan in order for lasting peace in the valley, said that it's not his job to appeal to Pakistan to stop the bloodshed in the valley. Listen in.
Who am I to appeal? No, it's not my job. It is for Government of India's job. It is the Prime Minister's job. Not Farooq Abdullah. It is the Prime Minister, not Farooq Abdullah.
While Farooq Abdullah's Pak Prem is well known, his comment today giving a free pass to Pakistan has revealed his abject disregard for the lives of innocents in the Kashmir Valley, including Hindus who were killed for just their faith. This frustration comes just a day after Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Manoj Sinha, rained fire on Talk to Pakistan lobby left, right and centre. Hitting out at politicians seeking talks with Pakistan, he said that he considered them more guilty than those who had direct contact with terrorism. Listen in to the LG of Jammu and Kashmir.
कुछ लोग ये कोशिश करते हैं कि यहाँ तब तक सब कुछ ठीक नहीं हो सकता जब तक पाकिस्तान के साथ आप नहीं जुड़ जाएंगे। ये वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने जम्मू कश्मीर को यहाँ पहुंचाया है और मैं मानता हूं कि वो ज्यादा गुनाहगार हैं उन लोगों से जिन्होंने आतंकवाद से सीधे अपना रास्ता रखा है। ये ऐसे लोग हैं जो जानते हैं कि जब तक आतंकवाद एक सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ वायलेंस, मिलिटेंसी, टेररिज्म नहीं रहेगा तो दिल्ली में हमें नहीं कोई पूछेगा।
Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a glimpse of what happened when I confronted Farooq for watching over the Hindu genocide silently. Listen in just 3 or 4 weeks ago when I questioned Farooq Abdullah on this, trying to do a frankly speaking interview with him. Listen in. इतिहास आपसे पूछता है कि जब 3 हिंदू, टीकालाल टपलू, जस्टिस नीलाकांत गंजू, जब जर्नलिस्ट प्रेमनाथ भट्ट को शूट कर दिया था और ये सितंबर 1989, अक्टूबर 1989, दिसंबर 1989 जब आप मुख्यमंत्री थे तो आपने क्या?
What is your interview for? What is your interview for?
My interview is for asking about
Please,
Kashmir.
take it away. I'm not ready to give her interview. She is totally
तो आप?
one-sided BJP person.
मैं बीजेपी की हूं और कश्मीरी हिंदू किसके हैं? आपके नहीं है, आपके नहीं है फारूक अब्दुल्ला साहब। फारूक अब्दुल्ला साहब कश्मीर पे सवालों के जवाब नहीं देना चाहते, कश्मीरी हिंदुओं के सवालों के जवाब देना ही नहीं चाहते। And it's not just Farooq Abdullah. Law Minister Kiran Rijiju today highlighted Nehruvian blunders for which India has paid a heavy price for the past 7 decades. On the 75th anniversary of Kashmir's accession to India, Rijiju said that while Maharaja Hari Singh had requested Nehru for Kashmir's accession to India just a month before partition, Nehru did not accede to his request and created several conflicts due to his personal agenda. Rijiju also called out Nehru declaring accession provisional and invoking Article 370, all because of a friendship that Nehru needed to keep with Sheikh Abdullah, Farooq Abdullah's father. The BJP slammed Farooq Abdullah for patronizing terrorism. Listen in.
There are some peoples, those are always advocating for the dialogue with Pakistan. This is very shame that a murderer is being patronized on the name of dialogue.
अगर पाकिस्तान बार बार यहाँ पर घुसपैठ करा करके आतंकी भेज रहा है और ये राजनेता उनसे बात करने की सिफारिश करते हैं। सरासर गलत है, इसको बर्दाश्त नहीं किया जाना चाहिए।
So the legitimate question we are asking on the Newshour tonight, slamming Pak terror not Farooq Abdullah's job? That's the question and the debate. Farooq Pak free pass. That's the hashtag and the debate on the other side.
You're watching the Newshour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight, Shehzad Poonavala, national spokesperson of the BJP, Majid Haidri, political analyst, Tehseen Poonavala, political analyst, Vivek Srivastav, also political analyst. But my first question goes to Sushil Pandit, activist. Sushil Pandit, I ask you this question tonight because you are one of those who belong to the lakhs of Kashmiri Hindus who've had to leave Kashmir. Farooq Abdullah will not answer a single question that we raise on Kashmiri Hindus. He will request the government of India, he will keep putting pressure on the government of India to talk to Pakistan, but he will not make an appeal to Pakistan to stop spreading terror in India. How do you respond to such callousness from a family, from a man whose family has held the post of the chief minister for decades after decades?
Navika, he won't answer your questions because you are not a tribunal that should try him for a genocide. This man was the chief minister of Jammu and Kashmir. For the entire period when terrorism, when jihad was unleashed on us, hapless Hindus, under his watch, he saw to it that these jihadis were released when they were caught on border trying to sneak into India. 80 of them were released between July and November 1989. July and December 1989. And he released 5 dreaded terrorists in the name of that drama of Surabaya Saeed's kidnapping. He eventually fled his government and went on to play golf. He came back in '96 and presided over horrendous massacres like Pandhama, like Remark, like Sangrampura. He squandered away all the gains that were made by Gary Saxena under his governorship by breaking the back of jihad and ensuring elections in '96, by getting all the counterinsurgents shot dead, including the leader called Kuka Parekh. This man passed a resolution in the assembly asking for pre-1953 status, despite the fact that his own father, Sheikh Abdullah, in 1978 had constituted a committee under his own deputy chief minister, which had gone into the question of all the subsequent changes since 1953 and held them appropriate, held them kosher, welcomed them. But his son today and his grandson, Sheikh Abdullah's grandson and Farooq Abdullah's son, want for pre-1953 status in 370. The substance of his politics is batting for Pakistan. Some in substance of his politics is hide and seek with jihad. Some in substance of his politics must face the consequences of unleashing a genocide in Kashmir. He can run away from your questions, Navika, but he will not be able to run away from a tribunal which will hold him guilty and will make him face the consequences of subjecting us to a genocide which he has not faced. And those who have helped him commit that genocide, all the criminals who were supposed to be tried for heinous crimes like mass murder, rape, abduction, have not been tried. His son has presided over governments over 12 years after our exodus. Not one man till date has been tried, punished, sentenced. He owes an answer. He owes an answer to you. He owes an answer to us. But when there is a tribunal, an anti-genocide tribunal, let us see how much he runs away from those questions and avoids giving those answers.
I know, Sushil Pandit, you hurt. I know you cry. I know there are people who have not stopped shedding their tears and people who've become absolutely stone dry because they have no tears left. And Tehseen Poonavala, I want to ask you, historical blunders that have been made, all in the name of friendship. Friendship between Nehru and Sheikh Abdullah, friendship between Rajiv Gandhi and Farooq Abdullah, leading to what happened in the 1990s in terms of the genocide. Friendship between Rahul Gandhi and Omar Abdullah. Friendships that have actually held this country to ransom. Article 370, thank you for the gift that the Congress party gave this country. Not temporary status which continued for nearly 7 decades. Thank you, Congress. That we must say this, that this is what you've left behind in terms of a legacy, and the fact that Kashmir was acceded to India in October and not in July, when it was Maharaja Hari Singh who was ready. Reminders that come from Kiran Rijiju actually show you that from then on to today, when Farooq Abdullah says, I cannot appeal to Pakistan for peace in India, it clearly shows the shocking reality of the coziness and the vote bank politics that both these parties have continued to do. Tehseen Poonavala, today an apology to the nation?
Good evening, Navika. Yes, an apology to the nation is due, but this apology to the nation is due from the Honorable Law Minister of India, Kiran Rijiju ji, who I say with a lot of responsibility on your show, like all BJP leaders, spreads WhatsApp university gyan or lies. Otherwise, perhaps Times of India, which I refer to, and 5th June 1948, Shri Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji's letter to Vallabhbhai Patel on why Maharaja Hari Singh is acting funny and not answering Lord Mountbatten, and he has to now, Lord Mountbatten has to go and ask him for the accession. I can put all of that in public domain, but I won't get into much of details. Just to tell you, suffice that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was not just the architect of Article 317, he approved it. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee was involved in it, and Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, as a member of cabinet, was a part of India going to the United Nations and endorsed it. But let me come to present history 1990, because that seems to be the focus of the debate, and I'll be very brief out there. Yes, as Sushil Pandit Bhai rightly said, that there were terrorists from Pakistan coming into India. External affairs then was the domain of the union government. Just to remind your viewers, it was the BJP, Advani and VP Singh government. Congress was in opposition. Just to remind your viewers, and I'm quoting Times of India, Rajiv Gandhi had to, I cannot debate if I'm going to be interrupted. These are my conditions. I will not debate. You have to allow me time. It keeps happening with me. I'm not going to debate them. I'm just quoting Times of India. It is Rajiv Gandhi who had to ask the Congress to ghero parliament to make sure that the army intervenes in Kashmir because Advani and VP Singh were snoozing. I also have to remind your viewers about one more thing. When Miss Mehbooba Mufti's sister was kidnapped, her father was the Home Minister of India serving with VP Singh and Advani in government. Farooq Abdullah and Rajiv Gandhi were in opposition. This is the fact of our country. And since 1990 to 2022, 14 years there's been a BJP government. A BJP government has gone on record in Supreme Court and said we don't want any justice for Pandits. We cannot open this case. That has been their stand. Why has the government not had a tribunal? Those are the questions. And today when our Pandit brothers are being killed, it's again a BJP government in the center. Why isn't there a white paper?
My friend, have you forgotten the truth of Yasin Malik and Dr. Manmohan Singh? If you have forgotten that truth, let me remind you. 2006.
Let me show you Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Yasin Malik.
No. Let me show you. Let me show you this picture, my friend. Let me show you this picture. You and your government were actually sitting together wanting international experts to come in and help on solving the Kashmir problem, something that Nehru did way back in 1947 as well. My question to you is, and to Shehzad Poonavala tonight, is whitewashing history. I'm coming to you, Sushil Pandit. Shehzad Poonavala. Tehseen Poonavala says that Kiran Rijiju's history is wrong and that Farooq Abdullah is actually the son of the soil of Kashmir.
Whatever arguments we may want to make before I start my submissions, at least we must, if we can't do anything for Sushil Pandit, we must not abuse and insult him on national television, and at least Congress should not do that. But anyways, let's come to the debate. From blunders of Nehru to wonders of Farooq, सोचिए, भारत बैशिंग करेंगे अपरंपार और पाकिस्तान पर चुप और लाचार। अब मैं आपको बताता हूं कि कैसे 1947 में नेहरू जी हो या फारूक अब्दुल्ला 2022 में हो, दोनों में किस प्रकार से फैमिली फर्स्ट की पॉलिटिक्स की चलते ही ये पूरी समस्या पैदा हुई। फर्स्ट थिंक अबाउट व्हाट मिस्टर नेहरू डिड। ही, व्हेन देयर वाज एन ऑफर इन जुलाई 1947 दैट लेट कश्मीर accede into India, he refused it. He blatantly, and the fact of that has been conceded by Mr. Nehru in the Lok Sabha debate in 1952. Second historical blunder that he made was that he went and, even when the invasion started, tried to deter from it because family first policy के तहत शेख अब्दुल्ला को इंस्टॉल करना जरूरी था, not the safety and the welfare of the people of Jammu Kashmir and the integration of Jammu Kashmir. Third mistake, internal issue was made international issue by going to the United Nations, and the same mistake was made when the Article 370 was abrogated. Who got up in Parliament? Leader of opposition, Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, saying that this is not internal issue of India, it is an issue between Pakistan and India. Internationalization of that issue. Fourth mistake that they made was that they continued to create this infrastructure of sowing seeds of separatism of 370, and Mr. Nehru himself said then that घिसते घिसते साबुन घिस जाना है। जब घिस गया ये 370 का साबुन, मोदी जी ने घिसवा दिया इस साबुन को, और आज ज्योग्राफिकल ही नहीं बल्कि रूहानी इंटीग्रेशन जम्मू कश्मीर का हो रहा है। एंड लुक एट व्हाट हैज हैपेंड प्री 370 एंड पोस्ट 370। फर्स्ट अलगाववाद, आतंकवाद, पाकिस्तान परस्ती, परिवारवाद की राजनीति चलती थी, आज डीडीडी की राजनीति चल रही है, डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन। पावर वाज इन 3 hands of Jammu Kashmir, of families of Jammu Kashmir. Today the power has gone back to 30,000 people, whether it's the DDC elections, the BDC elections, the Tehsil Panchayat elections. D for development. 15,000 crores came before the abrogation of Article 370, 70 years. Now 56,000 crores have come. It was a terror hotspot, 42,000 people were killed, and the terrorism was there at the peak. Now it's become a tourist hotspot, 1.62 crore tourists have come, and now patharbaji is completely over, terrorism is down by 50%. But I know what is the next. The next question is, कब कश्मीरी पंडितों को वापस ले जाएंगे? I might add that Sushil Pandit and his brethren are not some animals that we will lock them up in the cage and we will say, आओ सुशील पंडित अब चले जाओ उन्हीं नेबर्स के बीच में जो आपके जेनोसाइड को acknowledge भी नहीं करते. And therefore I have one DNA test. If they want to talk about Kashmiri Pandits, this Mr. Majid Haidari is sitting here. His own neighbors have said Raleef, Salif, Ghalib, and they have pushed out the family of Sushil Pandit. Today I asked him, does he acknowledge that it was Islamic Jihad? Question 1. 2. Does he acknowledge that Afzal Guru, Burhanwani and Yasin Malik, who used to get biryani in Manmohan Singh's office, who has been convicted now, is an Atankwadi? And 3. Will he now say that today the abrogation of Article 370 was the best move that has taken place? No, he will never say this. Until this time, this mindset is not. It will change. When this mindset changes, at that time, the true idea of Jammu Kashmir will prevail. And at that time, you will see the Kashmiri Pandits themselves want to go back.
Majid Haidari, you respond?
Well, yes, Navika Sahiba, firstly, happy Shaurya Divas to everybody. Much the way we owe our independence to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji, we owe the celebrations of this day to Dr. Farooq Abdullah Sahab. Because had Dr. Abdullah Sahab not stood up for the democracy at the peak of terrorism in 1996 to stand up against bullets of terrorists and for the tricolor, this could not have been possible today for us to celebrate the Shaurya Divas. But before extending it further, please, Shehzad bhai, I have a request. Never try to criticize Nehru ji. Because criticizing Nehru ji is like abusing India's struggle for independence. Because had there been no Nehru ji, there would be no free India. Because it was Nehru ji who negotiated with Lord Mountbatten and not any Shama Prasad Mukherjee or ABC. So let's respect Nehru ji for being not only the first Prime Minister, but somebody who gave us independence, to talk even against him, much the way you have been and your party has been doing. And you come up in a Nehru jacket and then you have to Nehru, that shows your mentality. See, now coming to the point of Kashmiri Pandit, I have a very humble son. See, I don't doubt the commitment of Modi ji and Amit Shah towards Naya Kashmir. But why is there a trust deficit in way of rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits in Kashmir? I mean, why can't somebody like Chief Secretary Carter Man, Atal Dulu, who is a... Why can't somebody like former DGP Kuldeep Huda Sahab or Amitabh Bhattu Sahab be in the decision making? Why are Kashmiri Pandits not getting even a voice in BJP government? What is the problem? Why is BJP government even not bothered about letting them speak in the idea of governance? So why is BJP so discriminatory towards Pandits? Forget about what people we have done. Raleef, Salif, Guru, forget everything.
Okay.
Kindly let me know.
I'll ask that question of the BJP. I will ask that question of the BJP. But I want to ask you, Majid Haidari, फारूक अब्दुल्ला में तो दम नहीं है टू अपील टू पाकिस्तान टू स्टॉप स्प्रेडिंग टेरर इन इंडिया। आप में है? आप अपील करते हैं?
फारूक अब्दुल्ला साहब में दम था कि उनने कुर्सी त्याग दी जब उनसे हत्याएं रोकी नहीं गई। बट आई हैव नेवर सीन एनीबॉडी फ्रॉम बीजेपी रिजाइनिंग और फ्रॉम द जम्मू एंड कश्मीर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन रिजाइनिंग ओवर द टारगेटेड किलिंग ऑफ कश्मीरी पंडित।
Can you appeal to Pakistan to stop spreading terror in India? Can you appeal?
I would request my honorable Prime Minister to make the beginning and I'd follow him. मैं मोदी भक्त बन के दिन रात वही बोलूंगा जो मोदी जी।
अच्छा, अकेले आपके पास दम नहीं है ये पाकिस्तान का नाम लेने का भी?
I'm concerned. I'm a very sensitive citizen. I go by what my Prime Minister says.
Oh my God,
very good. That's a good thing.
I'll follow them.
I am very happy.
Okay.
I am very happy that he's following the right Prime Minister. Till yesterday they were following somebody else and Imran Khan in particular. But today our Prime Minister forget seeking request etc. अभी जब होता है ना हमला तो सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक और बालाकोट एयर स्ट्राइक होता है। ये 26/11 के बाद जो सरकार जो MFN स्टेटस देती थी पाकिस्तान को वो सरकार नहीं है। माजिद हैदरी मैंने आपसे 2-3 सवाल है। मैंने आपसे पूछा रिपेंट, आप रिहैबिलिटेशन की बात कर रहे हो। बिफोर रिहैबिलिटेशन कम्स रिपेंटेंस एंड द रिपेंटेंस विल कम व्हेन यू फर्स्ट एक्नॉलेज दैट इट वाज इस्लामिक जिहाद। यू डिड नॉट आंसर व्हेन यू विल एक्नॉलेज दैट मिस्टर बुरहान वानी, मिस्टर अफजल गुरु एंड यासीन मलिक आर ऑल टेररिस्ट। यू डिड नॉट आंसर बट नॉनदलेस यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट स्टेक होल्डर्स ऑफ कश्मीरी पंडित्स, राइट? नाविका जी आपको याद होगा टाइम्स नाउ ने एक स्टोरी की थी, मनमोहन सिंह किसको स्टेक होल्डर बनाते थे? यासीन मलिक वाज मेड पार्ट ऑफ 18 member कमिटी टू डिस्कस व्हाट? टू डिस्कस हाउ टू negotiate peace with militants. Imagine this. Today we do not have these kinds of stakeholders, but yes, Majid Haidari, I ask you only one specific question that you must answer. After 23 years, first time now the movies are screening in Jammu Kashmir. आप इसका स्वागत करते हैं कि नहीं करते? Today for the first time 106 central laws including right to information, right to education are applicable. इसका स्वागत करते हैं नहीं करते हैं? आज मुझे बताइए कि 30,000 लोगों तक डेमोक्रेसी पहुंचे, DDC के चुनाव हुए, आप उसका स्वागत करते हैं नहीं करते? और कश्मीरी पंडितों की बात करते हैं विरोध कर रहे थे। अरे माजिद हैदरी सवाल का जवाब दीजिए ना, सवाल का जवाब दीजिए कि आज तो हम पाकिस्तान को मुंह तोड़ जवाब देते हैं आतंकवाद पर, आप एक आतंकवादी को आतंकवादी नहीं बोल पा रहे। अफजल गुरु आतंकवादी है हाँ या ना?
सर, should I appreciate
आतंकवादी है अफजल गुरु हाँ या ना?
Tourists visiting Kashmir when Kashmiri Pandits have not been rehabilitated.
अब मुझे बताइए कि आतंकवादी है अफजल गुरु हाँ या ना?
Pandits have not been appreciated. No,
देखिए ये बात करते हैं। एक और बात, अच्छा माजिद हैदरी एक और सवाल,
भारत में रहना होगा, वंदे मातरम कहना होगा।
I don't want to understand why are you sidetracking the issue? Is Burhan Wani a terrorist or not? Yes or no? Simple answer.
अगर बुरहान वानी को आतंकी कहने से मेरे पंडित भाई वापस आ जाएंगे सुबह तो ठीक है, मैं कहता हूँ।
अच्छा, पाकिस्तान को अपील
Is my statement going to make any change? For the BJP to bring the change, brother. I'm not here for any vote taking. ये तमाशा नहीं चल रहा है।
माजिद हैदरी एक 5 सेकंड का सवाल, ये आतंकवादी घोषित करना है किसी को नहीं करना है वो छोड़ दीजिए, बहुत आउट ऑफ सिलेबस है। आपके लिए एक सवाल, जो महात्मा गांधी का सबसे प्रिय भजन था जो उन्होंने गाया था, उस भजन को जब इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया तो उसको क्या कहा गया कि ये हिंदुत्व प्रोजेक्ट है। बताइए कि इस भजन को भी आपने रिजेक्ट कर दिया, जिसमें कि क्यों रिजेक्ट किया? जिसमें कह रहे हैं कि अल्लाह भगवान सबको सम्मति दे, भगवान सबको सम्मति दे अल्लाह, उसको भी आपने रिजेक्ट कर दिया। बताइए कि वो भजन को मानते कि नहीं मानते? उसको भी आपने कम्युनल कह दिया।
गांधी जी से याद पड़ा, गांधी जी की हत्या से कुछ घंटे पहले नथुराम गोडसे सावरकर से मिला था। क्यों मिला था वो आप बता दीजिए देश को, क्योंकि आपने गांधी जी की बात की ना, तो गांधी जी की हत्या से बात की, सावरकर ने क्या बात की थी?
Let's not sidetrack. I am asking you, आप अपील कर सकते हैं पाकिस्तान को, yes or no?
See, attempt to suicide is not allowed. It's a cognizable offense.
Oh.
Don't make me attempt suicide, and you are trying to force me to a suicide. Please.
Okay.
I request
कितना डरते हैं सुशील पंडित, this is what I wanted to demonstrate to you, that पाकिस्तान का नाम लेते हुए कितना कांपते हैं ये, लेकिन हाथ में जो लोग पत्थर उठाते हैं और जो लोग कश्मीरी हिंदुओं को मारते हैं उनके लिए कुछ नहीं कहा जाता।
नाविका जी, ये इस देश की त्रासदी है। We are cursed with people who bat for Pakistan while living here, breathing here and getting the protection and privileges under our constitution. But I must give priority to nail the lies that were spewed on your program by the wrong Poonavala. He says the management of international borders through which the terrorists sneaked in was under a VP Singh, Mufti Mahmud Saeed government, he must first check his facts. The first bomb blast that took place in Kashmir was on the intervening night of 31st of July and 1st of August 1988 in Telegraph Office. The last I checked, it was Rajiv Gandhi, the Prime Minister, and Farooq Abdullah, the Chief Minister in Kashmir. The second attack that took place by 4 armed jihadis on the house of Ali Muhammad Watali, DIG, took place on 17th of September 1988. Again, Farooq Chief Minister, Rajiv Prime Minister. The killing of Tikalal Taplu on 13th of September 1989. Rajiv Prime Minister, Farooq Chief Minister. The killing of Neelkant Ganju on 2nd of November 1989. Rajiv Prime Minister, Farooq Chief Minister. And release of terrorists on 15th of December 1989. Farooq Chief Minister. Till 18th of January, Farooq Chief Minister. How can you simply wash off, simply deny
one line
ability? Can you challenge these dates?
Yes,
Can you
I can.
refute these facts? Please.
Yes. I'll just take 10 seconds. On 15th December 1989, when terrorists were released, VP Singh was Prime Minister, Advani was in alliance, and Farooq Abdullah is on record saying don't release the terrorists, and Rajiv Gandhi is on record saying that we have to verify the parliament. Please, it was VP Singh was Prime Minister on 15th December 1989.
Farooq was Chief Minister.
It was Farooq. The Chief Minister was not consulted. He resigned.
70 Center could not intervene. Farooq had to do it.
The central government. Advani released terrorists.
Did Farooq Abdullah resign on the 15th of December 1989? Did Farooq Abdullah resign on the 15th of December 1989? Shehzad Poonavala, are you going to teach wrong history to the people of India just like the Congress did in its textbook? And you tried to mislead our viewers today by stating wrong facts. You said that Jawaharlal Nehru did not delay. It was actually Maharaja Hari Singh who delayed the accession of Kashmir to India. May I just read the statement made by Nehru ji in the parliament, unless these were not facts that he was stating there. Nehru in his own words said that Kashmir at first informally came up before us. It was always before us in a sense, but it came up before us informally round about July or the middle of July. The advice we gave to, please hear this, the advice we gave to Kashmir state was, and if I may say so, we had contacts with the popular organization there, the National Conference and its leaders, and we had contacts with the Maharaja's government also, rather vague contacts, but they dealt with us. The advice we gave to both was that Kashmir is a special case and it would not be right or proper to try to rush things there, and the general principle we had laid down that the people of the state should be consulted, specially applied to Kashmir. So it was Nehru who delayed.
One more lie Tehseen said. One second. Navika, just give me 10 seconds, then you can answer in a consolidated manner. Just 10 seconds. Shehzad Poonavala made another lie on this channel. The terrorists were released between July and December 1989. Mr. VP Singh was sworn in on 2nd December 1989. The terrorists were released at a time when Rajiv Gandhi was in charge, interim position. If this is an India Today report, ma'am, I'm sorry to quote an India Today report on your platform. There's a Times of India report also, I'm sure. Ma'am, please see this. It's right here. List of terrorists released by Farooq Abdullah government between July and December 1989. Mr. Shehzad Poonavala, if you can take him on the phone, he will also tell you, the former DGP of Jammu Kashmir, this is a lie that Shehzad Poonavala and the Congress ecosystem, they will go to the extent of saying कि सुशील पंडित के साथ genocide भी नहीं हुआ. ये तो उनको मौका दे दो आप, they will say कि ये सुशील पंडित तो झूठ बोलता है, ये इसके साथ genocide ही कब हुआ. और उन्होंने कहा था ना, आपको याद है नरसिम्हा राव की गवर्नमेंट में क्या कहा, ये फोर्स्ड माइग्रेशन था. मिस्टर पंडित डिड नॉट लाइक द जम्मू कश्मीर वैलीज, सो ही जस्ट रैन अवे फ्रॉम देयर. उनके साथ कुछ हुआ नहीं, रलीफ सलीफ गली के नारे नहीं लगे. यू हैव ब्रोकन दिस डॉक्यूमेंट योरसेल्फ. दिस वाज द कांग्रेस स्टैंड. And I'm saying July to December 1989, the terrorists were released. VP Singh government came after December 1989.
Well,
can I please?
Yes, respond.
Can I please? Yes. First of all, I cannot believe that such lies are being allowed on your television. Rubina Syed was kidnapped after she was the Home Minister's daughter, and he was the Home Minister in VP Singh's government, and it was the Union government, the VP Singh Advani government, that released the terrorist to specifically set her free in December, and Farooq Abdullah had objected. I cannot believe that such lies are being allowed to be spoken on your show. But more importantly, in June 1948, Nehru establishes contact with Hari Singh, rather weak contact. It is that Nehru does say that we must consult the people of Kashmir, just like the people of Junagadh was to be consulted, even by Vallabhbhai Patel, because they were rulers, a majority of the population was different. The king was of a different religion. That was the method India had adopted. But the architect of 370 is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was
not for unification of India. We were talking in order to appease, in order to ensure that there was a prime ministership of Jammu and Kashmir that would be available to Sheikh Abdullah. And the same Farooq Abdullah today says he cannot appeal to Pakistan. How does that sound to you, Sushil Pandit?
No, he wouldn't. He is batting for Pakistan in India, on Indian soil. His son and he actually, when they went to Pakistan, apologized. Apologized for their grandfather's mistake of having sided with India. They brought themselves a reprieve. And while addressing the gathering at Hazrat Bal Mosque 3 years back, he told the world in Kashmiri that these stone pelters are not pelting stones for becoming MLAs, MPs and ministers. They pelt their stones because they are Watan Parast. They do it for their nation. And he said to Hurriyat, don't consider us your enemies. Our goals are same. Let us work together. This is the Farooq Abdullah, real Farooq Abdullah, who was one of the founders of JKLF in 1971 in London. He is photographed with the founders like Amanullah Khan. This man, do we trust him with the welfare of Kashmir? This man was put under house arrest on August 5 because he was responsible for the destruction of Kashmir as we knew it before 1990. And yet, I must say it with sorry apologies to Shehzad Poonavala, this man was invited to Prime Minister's house by our Prime Minister on 24th of June 2021 in order to consult him on how to restore normalcy in Kashmir. Why do we give this ogre so many lives? Why do we give him legitimacy? Why don't we try him and punish him? Why don't we make him face consequences of his crime?
But Sushil Pandit, there are no evidences left of the cases that happened then because the Congress made sure there was nothing left. In fact, on many occasions, they didn't even send their police people to represent the government to produce evidence in courts of law. Isn't that true?
I want to make a fact check.
May I respond?
I want to make a very important fact check on this.
Sushil Pandit ji.
I want to make a fact check. I just need 10 seconds, then you respond to me.
I'll just take 10 seconds.
I'll just take 10 seconds.
70 साल आपने फैक्ट को गुमराह किया और अब फैक्ट चेक करने आ गए. वाह भाई वाह. अब सुन लीजिए.
10 seconds. I'll just take 10 seconds. It's a request. It's a very humble.
चलिए आप 10 से आपको 70 साल मिले थे भाई.
On 8th December, I'm reading from TOI. On 8th December 1989, Rubaya was abducted from a minibus in Srinagar while her father was the Union Home Minister in the VP Singh.
I knew you would say this.
Point fact number 1. Fact number 2.
I know this. Everyone knows this.
1 second. Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. The then Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah was in London. He rushed back from London. In the meanwhile, VP Singh deputed 2 ministers, I.K. Gujral and R.F. Mohammed Khan, to negotiate with the terrorists. And in the political tussle, 5 terrorists were released despite written opposition by Farooq Abdullah as Chief Minister. 37 days later, he resigned. Please don't lie on national television.
Okay. All right, respond, Shehzad.
Navika, now if this man has
all right, 10 seconds over, long since over. Shehzad responding to you.
First of all, I never said that Rubia Syed was not kidnapped at the during the VP Singh government tenure, but I am talking about the 70 terrorists, including Farooq Ahmed Thakur, Riaz Ahmed Lone, Ghulam Mohammed Uddin Teli, Nazir Ahmed Sheikh, Farooq Ahmed Malik, Ghulam Muhammad Gujri, Farooq Ahmad Ganai, all of these dreaded terrorists were released during the period of Rajiv Gandhi and Farooq Abdullah, who are putting friendship and family above national interest. Point number one. Please hear the facts and then respond. Secondly, now please do not interrupt Tehseen. Now do not interrupt. At least show civility. At least show Tehseen. Do not interrupt and break my flow. Do not interrupt. You can speak in your time. Thank you. Now, Mr. Sushil Pandit's concerns. Of course, he will have concerns. And you have concerns only with those whom you have expectations from. Who thought before 2019 that Yasin Malik would ever be convicted and called a terrorist? That he would be tried for the IF officers' Hatya? That Jamaat-e-Islami would be, that Hurriyat, Algawad back would be broken, that Syed Salahuddin and other people whose family members found jobs would be denied this job opportunity and Article 370 would be removed? Nobody thought of this. Today this has happened. Many things are yet to happen. But I ask one question with all earnestness to Majid Hydari. Majid Hydari, Farooq Abdullah said that Kashmiris are happier under Chinese rule. The same Chinese rule, if that Chinese people see you, they will put you in a jail. They will say stop reading your Quran. They will say stop naming your children Muhammad. They will say that you cannot practice Islam and you must eat pork. Are you standing with the statement of Farooq Abdullah, yes or no?
The Chief Minister is subservient to Prime Minister, and that is exactly what happened at the time of Kandahar hijacking. Dr. Farooq Abdullah had requested Atal Bihari Vajpayee not to release the terrorists, but the BJP government went ahead with the release of terrorists because they had their vested interest there.
And what was Sonia Gandhi's role at that time in the all-party meeting? वो भी quote कर लो ना थोड़ा. Selectively quote करते हो. सोनिया गांधी ने क्या मांग रखी थी ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग में? जरा बता दो. That don't release the terrorists. Did she say don't release the terrorists? Ask this congressman also. Ask this congressman, or you answer what Sonia Gandhi's stand was in all party meeting. Then you take the stand. No, you will put pressure that release the terrorists, let us save our citizens, and then you will come outside the meeting and take a different stand 20 years later. Now you answer the question about Farooq Abdullah and his statement on China.
Running the country. She has sacrificed her power, her position, everything for the country. She was never in power. She was only in the meeting there. The decision was taken by BJP.
Then after 26/11, why didn't they go and destroy the terrorist camps in Pakistan?
Well, I just want to come back. I just want to come back to the main issue.
Liberated Bangladesh,
My friend Majid Hydari. Majid Hydari, the question tonight is simply this: that आपके मुंह से इतना नहीं निकलता कि भाई पाकिस्तान बंद करो ये खून खराबा. You keep pressurizing the government of India to keep talking to Pakistan, but you yourself will not even stand in your own home and appeal to Pakistan to stop this. Why, sir?
No, when my government enjoys Virat Kohli playing against Pakistan, why should I poke my nose into this issue? When my government is happy distributing sweets to Pakistani forces on the day of independence, why should I poke my nose into it? Rajnath Singh ji is reminded of POK only because Gujarat
elections. Your government has told Pakistan categorically that terror will not be tolerated anymore and no MFN status anymore, no biryani anymore. If you do an act of terror, you pay a price. Do you stand with that stand also of government of India?
No, आपने खोए के पेड़े बांटे वाघा बॉर्डर पे और आज आपको पीड़ा याद पड़ी.
अच्छा तो मैं आपको बता देता हूँ ना, हिंदी में कहावत है, हिंदी में कहावत, एक सेकंड मैं आपको एक लाइन में ही समाप्त करता हूँ. नवाजी जी बहुत अच्छा. हमने तो ये हमेशा कहा है, दूध मांगोगे तो खीर देंगे, कश्मीर मांगोगे तो चीर देंगे. यही स्टैंड है आपका, भूलिएगा मत. अब इस स्टैंड के साथ नहीं है.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I only want to ask one question. The question tonight is only this: when the blood of Indians, and I don't care what religion they belong to, when the blood of Indians is flowing because of terror that continues to go, it has reduced 34% lesser than before. It has reduced, but still continues to somehow disturb the peace in Jammu and Kashmir. There are leaders who have enjoyed power and all the gravy that comes with it, but will not even appeal to Pakistan to establish peace in India, in Kashmir. But they will continue to pressurize the government of India to start a conversation with Pakistan. I want to ask you, what is your vested interest in Pakistan? Can you answer the people of India? We leave it at that. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining.